This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, not busy with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be happy, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none. The great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, free from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to false views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being free from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome. And as I think it's can't see her. As the kind young lady who introduced me, my name is Ajahn Jenti, and Gloria actually. Sorry, Gloria. The title of my talk is how to leave things alone. What are we leaving alone? Our meditation. Let me start by telling you a story that I heard from one of my teachers, which is quite apt, that describes this process of leaving things alone. So once a man went for a walk, and he saw something very strange. There's this man standing in this pond, pushing his hands down, pushing his feet down, moving all around, continuously doing this. And this man who was going for the walk had a look and thought, this is very, very strange. And he continued to observe. And then he thought to ask this man, "Excuse me, sir, what is it that you're doing?" "Oh, I'm trying to make this water settle so that it's all clear. And this is what I'm trying to do. I've been doing this for quite a while, and it doesn't seem effective." "Oh, I see," said the man. "Well, let me think. There may be a better way of actually doing this. Would you be interested to try it?" And the other man, who's getting quite frustrated and tired and weary, said, "Well, yeah, we'll give it a go." And he said, "Well, you come out of the water and let's just see what we can do. First of all, we need to gather a few things. We need to find some planks of wood, a kettle, some matches, and some twigs and branches. And so we can gather them all together, and I can help you with that." So off they went, looking for these bits and pieces. And so once they gathered all this wood and planks and kettle, and I forgot the tea, they said, "Oh, what do we do now?" "Well, let's try and build a fire, and we can put the twigs and pieces of wood, and we'll start the fire, and we'll place the kettle, and we can boil the water. And whilst the water is boiling, we will just get the hammer and get the nails, and make a little bench for us to sit." This of course took a little while, and they did all these things, and yes, the kettle was boiling quite nicely to make the cup of tea, and they had the little bench that was made, and so now they were all ready. So they brewed the tea, they sat down on the bench, and the man who was walking said, "Observe the water." And the other man said, "Oh my goodness, it's clear. This is what I was trying to achieve by stumping up and down and pushing my hands down, trying to get the mud to settle down." And he said, "Well, we can sit down now and relax and enjoy our nice cup of tea and look at the fresh water and enjoy the looking at the pond." So when I first heard this, I thought, wow, what an apt way of describing meditation. We, out of habit, we interfere. We try and control our meditation, and this makes things really hard. And this story actually is just saying, it describes just sitting down and just letting things be, letting the water settle, letting the mud settle down. The water is all clear. And this is exactly what happens with our mind. And so I really like this story. And the other story, example I should say, that I like to share is one that Ajahn Brahm uses. And it's holding a glass of water and willing the water to settle down, for the water to become still. no matter how hard, how long you hold this water, you can see, hopefully on the screens, that yes, I'm trying really hard. I'm really concentrating, but the water is moving. What do I need to do for this water to settle down? Right? You put it down. Right? It may take a little while, but the water, in its own time, without me interfering, settles down all by itself. Just as our minds, if we left it alone, without trying to control it, it'll settle down all on its own. And you may ponder, why is it that we like to interfere with our meditation? Why do we try and agitate our minds and try and control things? And I think one of the key things, it's out of fear, because we are so used to controlling our lives, everything we do, and that's understandable, because throughout the day, you're planning things, you're making things happen, and there is the control and there's the will in action here. So it is actually we've been conditioned this way. So if the art of success in meditation is learning to just sit and just allowing the mind that's been busy, that's been stressed, that may have some anxiety with some of the things that you've had to face throughout the day, and just to sit back and just to do nothing. Right? And Ajahn Brahmali recently gave a talk, and I liked the way he described meditation. And not to see, the word meditation sometimes scares people, but not to use the word meditation, but to use the word relaxation. Right? I am sitting, and this is my relaxation time. This is the time that my mind and my body is going to be at ease, and there's hopefully some peace and some respite from the busyness of the day that I've had, that I can tap into. And it's like sitting down in your most comfortable armchair, and you just flop on your armchair, and you're really comfortable and at ease. This is what I want to convey about this evening sit, and make meditation a fun thing. It's not like going to your dentist to have a tooth pulled out, right? Don't think of meditation as something painful. It's something that's meant to, relax your mind and, make you happy. So, bring a light approach to meditation, and that can be quite helpful. So, having said, hopefully I've said enough to start us all off. And by the way, my water has all become still all on its own without me interfering. So if you're all okay, make yourself comfortable, and make sure that posture is actually quite important. Make sure that you're seated nicely. Hopefully in your most comfortable armchair, or sometimes even lying down. If you're exhausted, your body may need to rest, and do that too. Make sure you're sitting on a comfortable chair, or it could even be a bed if you need to lie down, if you have some chronic illness or something like that. Sometimes the body just needs downtime, and that's also fine. Before we commence the meditation, may I please invite you, and first of all, if you have your own style of doing meditation, please feel free to follow that. And so before we commence, may I please invite you to think of a place that you've been at, that you found some peace. An example of that could be just sitting at the beach, watching the waves, going hiking and getting to say a top of a mountain and looking out and watching the sunset. I'll give you a few minutes to think of something that actually can be used to tap into peace. So hopefully you have something in mind, and I will commence with doing a very small body scan to start us off. And hopefully by now you're seated comfortably and relaxed. So starting with the soles of the feet. See if you can feel any sensations at the soles of the feet. Now moving to the thighs and the buttocks. Are the buttocks evenly balanced and equal weight on each side? And some of us who are older, this is really important because we start having quite a bit of pain in that region, thigh, buttock area. So spend a little bit of time just to make any adjustments that you need. Now moving on to the back. I like to actually do a stretch, just like a cat when it's been sleeping and it awakens. Then relax the back. And moving on to the shoulders. Shoulders, we have a lot of, we experience stress through how tense and tight our shoulders are. So do whatever it is that you need to do to your shoulders to relax them. I like to scrunch them, roll it back and roll it forward a couple of times to let it go, but you will have your own technique to relax your shoulders. Again, spend a little bit of time caring for your shoulders. Now moving on to your face. Now the eyes, the mouth and the jaws again show signs of tiredness and stresses you may have had throughout the day. Again, try and relax your face and do whatever it is that you need to do to release the tension around the jaw and the mouth and the eyes. So let's send a little bit of kindness to our mind, our mental world, as well as our body before we commence the meditation. It's good to notice what kind of a mood you're coming into the meditation with. Will help you understand how you when you finish the meditation, how the meditation has proceeded. So some kindness to the mind and kindness to any tense, tight spots that may be in your body. So now, if you would like, bring to mind that place that you found so much of peace that you could actually feel it in your whole body, resonating throughout your whole body. Picture that in your mind and remember what it was like to experience that peace. And so for the rest of the meditation, we are going to see if we can sit with this peace, be with this peace. And if the breath likes to appear, it'll appear. If not, we are just going to relax and just sit with the peace. And the only interference that that I suggest that you may do is that if your mind starts thinking, worrying, proliferating, go back to that place of peace. See if you can enliven it again. So I'll stay quiet for the rest of the meditation, and let's see how it unfolds. So we're now coming towards the end of the meditation. So come back to your body. Feel the body sitting there. And in Buddhist meditation practice, there's this thing called Paccavekkhana. It's actually looking at the cause and effect of what just happened. What led the mind to peace? Ask yourself. And what disturbed the mind? So by looking at this cause and effect, it's a useful way of seeing how your meditation progressed, and it can be used for your next sit. And if you found some peace, some relaxation, some joy, perhaps you can remember the what the cause for that, and you may be able to bring that up in the next time that you sit. And just remember that whatever it is with meditation, however it went, it's just that consistent sitting that you put aside for each day and dedicate to meditation that actually makes you, helps you to progress in meditation. All it requires is patience and to leave things alone. So you can gently open your eyes and I'll just try and summarize some of the things I've said at the start, if it may help you all. So relaxing the body is really key. Having the most comfortable seating that you can find for the meditation is also beneficial. And just to sit, saying to yourself, this is now my relaxation time. I'm going to leave all the busyness of the day, all the worries, all the planning, that can be left on the shelf to be picked up at the end of the meditation. This is my time, and I deserve to find peace and joy. So I'd like to open the floor for any questions or comments or feedback. I'm new to this, so but I'll try my very best to answer any questions or any queries that you may have.
Can I ask questions?
Sure.
Yes, I actually have two questions. The first one is that relaxation time sounds scary to me. I think I have difficulty to let go. Like I always, it's not like it's my unconscious. I think it's my unconscious mind working. Like whenever I think about relaxation, I just think about what something will go wrong when I'm relaxing myself. So I cannot. It's hard for me to do that. And yes, perhaps you can give some advice on this. This is the first question. And then the second one is that when I hear your voice, you sound really soft and gentle. And I think like it's just a little bit, I want to know how to cultivate that, because it's a bit hard for me to cultivate, to like be soft and gentle. I don't know how to say, but it's kind of I just like, you know, sometimes just like today when I was doing my work, and then I suddenly, like in the afternoon, I'm so tired, and I realize that I'm not being soft and gentle with myself. Like, so the second question is like how to cultivate that sense of like softness and gentleness in daily life. Yes, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, peace is something that you can put aside time for. You need to find an avenue. I'm not sure what that it would be for you. It could be, I'll just try and give some examples. It's good to set it, and it actually ties in with the second question that you have, Gloria. To find some time during the day for some downtime. And you need to find what it is. Is it actually listening to classical music? Is it going for a walk in the park, just sitting very quietly? Or it could even be you may have a small backyard or access to some space where it's green, quiet, and the sound of nature around, right? First of all, to go to find these type of places, a quiet place where there's not too many people having conversations, just to sit down, feel what it's like just to sit down and be with nature. It could be even going to the beach and sitting at the beach, just listening to the sound of the waves, watching the waves coming in and watching the waves going out. So, first of all, we need to train ourselves to actually it could be helpful to experience something like that outside meditation, just to get a feel for what peace is like, right? And Gloria, you will only know what it is that actually makes you calm, right? Relaxation is not a bad thing. In fact, it is actually vital for all of us, just to have that time for ourselves in this busy, crazy world that we live in. And my suggestion to you, Gloria, is to first of all find outside of meditation, see what you can tap into, and to actually feel the peace inside you, within yourself, within your own body, right? And going to your second question, we can all, through the busyness, you talked about being at work and being quiet, not being able to speak softly and slowly. Of course, sometimes, there's many demands made upon us, and especially towards the end of the day, it's going to be hard to speak softly to somebody. But the great thing, Gloria, is that you've actually noticed that, right? You had enough mindfulness to notice that you weren't speaking softly. That in itself is a start, right? So what may help you is throughout the day, even at your work. I don't know what your workplace is like, when I was working, I've worked for a very long time. I used to go, after eating my lunch as quick as possible, I used to go outside for a walk, right? And, we had like half an hour break or something, and I used to just walk. Wasn't very pretty scenery, but just to calm down the mind, right? So that I can get through the afternoon. And I don't know whether there's a possibility too, that you can find a quiet bench or something that I described in the story that I described, that you can actually sit and just watch the birds, right? Look at the blue sky, right? Listen to the sounds of, nature around you, right? And that might help you to sort of calm down and speak slowly and then gently, back at work. And I hope this has first of all answered your questions, and that it may help you.
Yes, it helped a lot. I do like go meditation sometimes during the afternoon. Sometimes it's a place where you can see the greens, but also there are some people will passing through, but I don't mind because that's the best spot I can get, I think. And sometimes I will sit down and do some meditation in the afternoon after I finish my lunch, so that I can have some sanity. And yes, do go for a walk sometimes. So yeah, I do think that it helps a lot. And I think I do recognize that finding that sense of peace in my heart is very important. I don't usually have it, but yes, I'm trying to cultivate more that kind of sense of peace and just stability in my heart. So thank you so much for your advice.
Most welcome, and don't be hard on yourself. It takes some practice, as you already see, and a lot of patience and kindness. Don't forget the kindness to yourself. Yeah, I will. I also received a comment in the chat. Can I read it out for you? Sure.
A person said, "Thank you, Venerable Jenti. I have never tried that method of remembering a time of peace at the start of the meditation to help cultivate peace. I remembered a time when I had a very peaceful meditation, and instead of wanting the meditation to go that way like I might normally, I just sat with the memory like you said. And it was very enjoyable and helped cultivate the peace. Thank you so much for sharing this method."
You're most welcome.
I have a question.
Sure, Eddie.
You talked about looking at the cause and effect of your thoughts in meditation and to bring it up in future meditation. When you do that, when you bring it up in future meditation, what are you supposed to do with that?
Okay, so cause and effect, when I'm referring to cause and effect, it's actually what, in terms of where the agitation, where the disturbance of the mind was. So if it was actually, say, related to some incident, some conflict that you had during the day, right? To say that when I, say to yourself maybe mentally, I'm not going to bring these type of things into my next meditation, right? This time is for my practice. This is my time to be relaxed and at ease within my own body. And a lot of, so let's just step back a little bit. So in terms of when you come to sitting on the cushion, what you have been doing with your day, whether you've whether you've had nice interactions with people, or whether there's been some conflicts at work, or a long stressful meeting that you've been at, that type of thing. It's good if you can actually before you commence the meditation, and this is not talking in this context today, but to wind down somehow. As I mentioned to Gloria, it could be listening to some music, your favorite music, some calming music, or going down to the beach, going to the park, going to your backyard, right? And maybe just do a little bit of gardening. People find gardening really relaxing. So especially when it comes to thoughts and disturbances, things like that, it's very hard to shake them off. And in fact, my teachers actually recommend that if you are feeling disturbed and your emotions are, that you know it's not going to help you to sit comfortably with, it's best to actually maybe do some walking meditation, right? Or just go and do something entirely different. It's going to be impossible to actually sit comfortably, especially with the breath meditation, if you're doing a lot of thinking, right? It's going to be extremely difficult. So outside this meditation set, what I would recommend is just to, especially if you're working, or whether it's working from home or you're at a workplace, it's good to come home and just flop, sit down on your comfortable armchair for a bit. Go for a walk in your garden, right? Go for a walk outside, whatever it is, before you commence that meditation. Eddie, I hope that this may help.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else?
I got some more questions in the chat.
Yep, sure.
I will read one first, and then Lee can ask her question. I will ask one first. The question is, "Hi Venerable, can you please expand on what was referred to as a Buddhist practice of reviewing meditation? Is there a sutta reference for that?"
Okay, Paccavekkhana is the Pali term, and I'm not sure that that there is a sutta on that. But what I can say is actually it's just reviewing how your meditation went, right? How was your mind when the meditation started, right? And at the end of the meditation, how do you feel? Do you feel more agitated, irritated? Did you experience a little bit of peace, a little bit of joy, a little bit of calm? And what is it that caused that? For those things to arise. And as I mentioned before, it's actually just a way of just tapping into what works and what doesn't work in meditation, which you can take into your next meditations. Is that clear enough?
I think so. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Shall I go, Gloria? First of all, Venerable, thank you so very much for that. It was just so beautiful to hear your voice. I agree with Gloria. I want that quiet, calm voice as well. It was just a meditation just on its own. If all you had have done was talked about your shopping list with that voice, I still would have been in meditation. So thank you very much for that. Also, I really liked that you mentioned music and finding the right music to get into that space of calm has been quite difficult for me lately, and usually I can do that well. I wondered if there's music that you listen to.
Okay, so one of my my Vinaya, which is actually nuns have 331 rules that we need to, 311 rules we need to keep. One of them is actually not listening to music. I mean, I was a bit of a music person in my younger days, and you know, rock bands and such. I never got into classical music actually, but Ajahn Brahm recommends classical music. That's something that he actually really later on you know, got into. And he mentioned someone called Monty Birdie. He must be English, I would say. I never really got into classical music, and but I've been told by Ajahn Brahm that classical music, if you can tap into the right composer, and whether it's piano or flute or whichever instrument that you know, maybe have a bit of a play with the different instruments that composers use, and see what works for you. But normally music with the lyrics I wouldn't really advise.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Lee, thank you so much for the beautiful comments. I'm really touched, and this is the second time that I've actually really given a guided meditation for a group of people. So it's a few nerves there, but it's really encouraging. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
and
it's
glory as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any more feedback or comments or questions?
Are you Venerable?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes. Hi, good to meet you. Thank you for the meditation and the words of wisdom that you gave during that. It's interesting. So I was thinking about what you were saying. I've got a. Oh God, I hope I don't cry. I get very embarrassed if I cry. I've got quite a scary consultation on Friday. It's to do with my health. And I'm already, as you can see, getting really scared. And what's been happening is I have cancer, and they've been treating me, and I've had like these CAT scans and stuff. So I've got to go on Friday to get an update. And these big events, by the time I get to Friday, I'm having panic attacks in the actual hospital. It's to do with the hospital. Well, it's to do with the news that I might receive. So I don't want to be like, it's not that I don't want to be like that. It's not very helpful to me to go into that state. And think it's good for me to say it out loud because I usually go quiet and pretend it's not happening. So there's a bit, when you were saying about being peaceful, bringing peace like into your daily life, like some of the things you've been saying, sometimes I feel that I'm in denial if I am not facing these things head on. I'm a bit rough on myself, I think. But I thought of Ajahn Brahm talking about the Winnie the Pooh story, about the what ifs, because I think that's what's going on. And he talked about Winnie the Pooh and Piglet walking through the woods in the wind. And what if, I mean, so if I say what if it's good news, I feel that I might be in denial. But I suppose what I'm asking you, I suppose is it better to have at least a peaceful, I'm answering my own questions, I realise I'm speaking to, and it's some kind of peace before I get there, but it's hard work because I feel so tired and fatigued, and oh yeah, I don't know what I'm asking. I suppose I'm asking.
So it's Nikki, is it?
Yeah,
Nikki. And so you've been diagnosed with cancer, is that right?
Yeah,
and
a while back now.
A while back. And so the consultation has given you more bad news, or is that what's up to?
It's on Friday. Yeah, it's this Friday coming, so I'm worried about what they're going to say.
Right, okay. All right. Okay, I understand. Sorry, I had to ask because I just trying to understand.
Yeah, that's okay.
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 So you never know. You never know what it's going to be, and it seems like you're looking into the future, right? And maybe even causing yourself a lot of unwarranted worry and anxiety, right? So for me, in my personal life, when I've had a challenge or some difficult situation or some news I was waiting to hear about, I by then, I wasn't aware, really deeply, practicing Buddhism. I preoccupied my mind, myself, right? It is a distraction, but this is what we're talking about is actually something really, something that could really impact your, your life. So doing something like maybe if you are an experienced meditator, I would recommend that you actually do some metta meditation, right? And just send loving kindness to yourself and to your cancer, right? And on the side, let's try and spend some time doing something that we enjoy doing and trying to be positive about, the outcome, right? It doesn't mean that you're denying, but you say to yourself, I would suggest that given you've had cancer, that you must have some strength, right? So whatever happens, whatever the news is on Friday, you have the strength to deal with it. Right? Say that to yourself. Convince yourself. And no matter whatever it is, I'm going to be fine. I have dealt with this this cancer for quite a while now, and I've come through. And today I'm actually sitting in a guided meditation forum. Right? That takes a lot of courage. And to me, that actually says that you are a strong person. Right? And if you feel the need to cry, cry. But the biggest advice I can give you is that we don't know what this is going to hold, and it's best not to proliferate. It could, at the end of the day, be some the news may be okay for you. So let's not invest our energy on something, just the mind being negative and going into the future.
Okay.
And Nikki, I will remember you in my loving kindness meditation when I do that. And I sincerely hope that it is the news is okay for you. But if not, I have confidence that you will be able to face it and to deal with it with all the friends and family and all the resources that you have at hand. And
Thank you so much.
Lots of loving kindness to you.
Thank you. Bless you, thank you.
You're welcome, huh? Okay, we have time for one more question, and we might then call it a day if it's okay with everyone.
I got a question on the chat.
Yes.
The question is, how venerable, how does being mindful contribute to the success of meditation when we are mindful that we are having bad day, for instance?
Okay, so this is understanding your feelings, your mood, coming into the meditation and knowing what kind of day you've had. You already know. And I think I mentioned to Eddie, right? Knowing this firsthand actually helps you to know where you're at, and maybe just do some other things, right? To relax, maybe do something that is actually like a chore, like washing dishes, that brings back that mindfulness, right? Something as simple as washing dishes, or watering your garden. That's another very therapeutic thing to do mindfully. Re-establishing mindfulness is what I'm trying to say, right? And then come and sit on the cushion and see what happens. Not having any expectations, right? Because depending on how stressful your day has been, it may not be, this current sit is, sitting today may not be the answer for you, depending on what kind of day you've had. I'm not sure if I've answered this question, Gloria, correctly.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So, is there any more questions from the? Okay, so if there are no questions, then we can call it an end to today. Venerable, will you be happy to give us a blessing before we end?
Sure. Sapa roga minimuto, sapa santapa vajito, sapa veramati kanto, niputo jatuvan bhava, sapetio vivajantu, sapa rogo vinasatu, mate bhavatvantarayo, sukhi dikayuko bhava, abhivadana sile So I wish you all, may you all be well, may you all be happy, may you find that peace throughout your day. And thank you for attending today and being so patient with me.